support
see you're
Trump?
still grifting online, man. That's diabolical, bro. Seriously. I
Do you
can't believe
support
you're
Trump?
still doing this, dude. Yeah, I support Trump. I
Okay.
mean, some of the things he's doing lately, iffy, but I'm not gonna turn my back on him, dude. So I'm gonna stay supporting him. So
Okay. And why is that? Like, what things? Is there anything he could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
well, he's already done a lot of good things back in 2017. Do you know what those are?
Are you saying the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the
I
Tax
mean,
Cuts and
he
Jobs Act
did. Hold
was.
on, Parker.
Okay, go
400
ahead.
miles of border wall. There's no illegals coming across the border right now, correct?
Well, I mean, I would say that there are definitely are. That's just a complete lie to say that there are
Parker,
zero
the
undocumented immigrants
illegals
coming
coming
across
across
the
the border,
border.
is it like
You
99%
said you said
they're
there's
not coming across the
zero.
border?
What you said there's
Yeah,
zero,
there's
right?
pretty much zero, dude.
So pretty much zero is different than zero,
Pretty
right?
much. Do you know what pretty much zero means?
Yeah, that means almost, not
Okay, Parker,
the
let's just
exact
say, let's
same,
just
not
say,
logically identical.
Parker, let's just say 100 are coming across the border per month
Okay, well,
versus when
also the
Biden was
400
in.
miles of border wall thing, that was like
Bro,
refurbishment, and he only
yeah,
did
whatever,
that's less
dude.
than
It's
21
refurbishment.
that's less than 22% of the overall wall. You know, the bipartisan border bill that he called for people in Congress to undermine actually would have built more wall this entire his presidency or
Yeah, you're
any
full of
point under
shit,
his
Parker. Hey,
administration that did
remember when
that.
Biden was selling the metal border stuff like for pennies on the dollar, dude? Remember that?
Dude, that was base. You know that this is a
So, hey, hold
compromise
on, Parker. Parker,
within the
stop for a
bipartisan
second.
border bill.
Parker,
Not that we like it.
let's just say 100 are coming across the border this month versus when Biden was in. Who's doing a better job, Trump or Biden?
When you say job, like we're gonna have different objectives or
Oh
goals when
my
it comes
God,
to
this
immigration.
fucking guy
So
can't
your
just he
objectives and
can't just admit it, bro.
wait, hold up. Your objectives
I'm
and
giving you
goals.
I'm giving you such an easy analogy, bro. Like I'm giving you an easy scenario, Parker.
Okay. Well, when
Let's
we
just
say
say
a
100
job
are
fulfills
coming
certain
across the
objectives,
border
right?
this month
Okay.
versus
Let me know
how
when you're
many
done
came
crashing
across
out.
under Biden.
Let me know when you're done crashing out, and I'll tell you my perspective.
Bro, I'm not crashing out. Do you understand the scenario? Yes or no, you dingaling?
I understand. I just think that you're crashing out, and you're not letting me explain my position. You can go on your whole tandem. I'll wait until you're done.
I just gave you the scenario, so answer it. Who's doing better, Biden or Trump, under the illegals coming across the border?
If your judgment in terms of the objective is how many undocumented immigrants are coming across the border, well then you would claim Trump. But
Then Trump,
that's
yes,
not
he
taking into
did better, right?
consideration how they engage in this policy, the detriment that it would have on rights, the impact that it would have in terms of lack
Bro,
of
how many people did
immigration,
Obama deport?
tourism,
You,
and the
how
reduction of
many how
people
many
coming to
people
our
did
country in the
Obama
first place.
deport?
Wow, this guy cannot chill. Hold up. Do you have any self-control?
How many people did Obama deport?
So it would be
Yeah, do
about
your stupid little
3.1
math,
million
bro.
over 8 years.
This is hey everybody in the chat. This is when he starts crashing out and starts yelling off donations. I already know this clown. But hey, Parker, at the end of the day, bro, here's the problem with you, dude. All you do is talk about one man all day, bro. Like this guy lives rent free in your dome, okay? And it's like, bro, you could be doing something way better with your life than talking shit about Donald Trump. Like, how, Parker, how many hours do you work a week at your job?
So the reason why I do this is because he's the president
Oh,
of the
this
United
is my
States.
job. This is
The
my
reason why I
job
do this
right
is
here.
because he's the president of the United States, and because I'm criticizing the president of the United States because he's the leader of the Republican Party, where he has 80 to 90% support within the Republican Party, will be determining the next candidate. And I'm a liberal who debates the Republicans. Okay, I don't think that's that
Yeah,
complicated.
hold
I'm
on,
looking
bro,
for
Parker,
people who have that particular
Parker.
ideological belief, so that I
Yeah,
can
bro, you're
rid
like a
that of the
peasant
country
at the bottom of the
ideologically.
totem pole, bro. Like you're like a peasant. Like Trump's worth $10 billion, bro. You wash your dishes in your sink at night, bro. You're like at the very bottom. You're like under the ground where the totem pole is standing, bro.
I don't
That's how
care
low
about a
level
totem
you are,
pole. I
bro.
care about the impacts on people in
But that's
society.
how.
That's
Okay, but
how
then why don't you?
ridiculous you are. You think that this is like a high school celebrity match. I don't give a shit about that. I care about actually
Hey
radically
Parker, what do
changing
you
the
think? Hold on,
conditions.
bro.
Please
Here's
be
a
quiet.
genuine
I
question.
care about actually radically changing the conditions for people in this country and making them better for people across the
Okay,
board.
Parker,
I
what
don't
do you
care
think's a
about
more
being ranked
pressing
high on a
matter?
totem pole. I don't care about being recognized within that respect. I care about making the society in a manner in which every single person
Bro,
who
look at
grows
the
up in the
bot.
society is treated with dignity,
Look at the
with
bot
basic
accounts you have, bro.
respect, is ensured access to healthcare, childcare, housing, food. No one in this country, in the richest country in the history of the world, should go without those basic amenities. That's what I believe in.
Parker, all
And
you
that's
gotta
the
do
way
is
that I
3
want to
years
change
in
the
the army,
world.
bro,
So,
to
by
get
the way,
free all that
if
shit.
it makes you crash out at the
Here,
understanding
give
that
me 1
someone
second,
doesn't
bro.
think of this in a celebrity football match, or
Bro, give
I'm
me
going to
1
do better
second.
than the other person, or I'm trying to be more popular than the other person, and actually sees it as they want to benefit the country, and then you
Parker,
see
give
that
me
as
1 second, bro.
dishonest, because the only way that you've
Look at you
ever
muting me.
seen people in those perspectives act is a way in abuse of power.
Okay, Parker, give me 1 second, bro. Stop muting me, okay? All that free shit that you just cried about, you can get it all for free if you just go join the army, you dingaling. All you got to do is like 3 years and you get free healthcare and free dental and free everything for the rest of your life, bro. I would know because I'm an army veteran. And guess what, Parker? I don't even use the VA because Nancy Pelosi turned it into a
So you don't get you good health care. Okay, so then the point that I would make is
No,
that
I do get it, but I don't use it because it's a piece of shit. It's
so
socialized
it's not
healthcare,
good.
bro.
Wait, but socialized healthcare all around the world is more cost effective, leads to better health outcomes, ensures more preventative access
Oh
to
my God.
healthcare,
Hey,
which
Parker, what's
reduces
the
chronic
wait
healthcare
time for an
conditions in the long
oncologist in
run.
Canada? Hey,
Well, you're
Parker,
talking
what's
about
the wait time? Bro, give me a
you're
second.
talking about elective
What's the
procedures.
wait
That's like
time
asking
for...
what the wait times are in an emergency room, because we judge emergency room based upon severity. Of course,
Oh
there's
my
going to be
God,
a
bro.
designated
Okay,
longer.
what's the wait time for a pediatrician
Let me know
then,
when
you
you're done
dingaling?
speaking, bro. Why are you
Oh my
crashing
God.
out, dude? Why are you crashing out? Like, let me
Hey,
speak.
Parker.
You want to have a
Parker.
conversation with
Okay,
me,
go
or do you
ahead.
just
Go
want to
ahead,
like,
Parker. Go ahead.
do you just want to like steamroll the whole conversation? Like,
Parker,
I don't know
just
why you're
one
cortisol
question, bro.
maxing, bro.
One question. One question.
Let me know.
What is
Okay,
the
go
wait
ahead.
time in Canada to see a pediatrician, bro?
I'd
What's
have
the
to check
wait
the
time to see
specific
a
time on what
pediatrician
it
in
is for a
Canada?
pediatrician. I don't know.
It's over 15 weeks, you dingaling. That's socialized healthcare. It doesn't work. Okay?
What's
You
your
just
source?
here's the thing, Parker.
What's
You
your
just sit
source?
up here and you lie all day,
Hey,
bro.
wait.
You're just a
Splinter,
you know what a pathological liar is,
Splinter. What was
Parker?
your question? What was your source?
The
What was your
Fraser Institute, you dingaling. The
what's the
Fraser
title?
Institute.
What's the
Just
title?
type in Canada wait times, bro.
Fraser Institute? You just made that up, I think.
Oh my God, dude. This guy is such a clown. All these simp women that donate to you, bro, is diabolical, dude.
Why are you crashing out, dude? You're so
I'm not
mad.
crashing out. You just can't handle the debate. You can't handle
You
being
said for
called a dingling because
pediatricians?
that's what you are.
Pediatricians.
Yeah, just Google Canada wait time. That's all you gotta Google, bro. Come on, man. Snap at it. Bring your little chat GPT up.
Specialist. I don't use that.
Yeah, you do.
I actually do research. By the way, so I clicked on the Fraser Institute. And let's see what claim it makes for.
It's like 15.3 weeks just to see a pediatrician, you dum-dum.
I don't know why you're so mad. Okay.
Because you're a pathological liar,
hold up.
Parker. That's why I'm mad. I don't like
let's
liars,
think about this
dude.
for a second. Let's think about this
You
for a
call
second.
Trump a liar, but you're a pathological liar.
Hey, let's think about this for a second, okay? When it comes to wait times, how many people are waiting in the United States because they can't get access to care in the first place? How many people are waiting in the United States because
you took the private
Let me please
sector
finish.
away, you
Let me
dumbass.
please finish.
What are you talking about?
Let me please
Parker,
finish. Let me please finish.
Obama took the private sector away, man.
Okay. Well, if you look at the emergency room, we judge emergency
Oh my
room
God,
based
this guy
upon
is so
severity. So
dumb,
those
dude.
that have high levels of severity, their wait times are very low. Those that have lower levels of severity tend to have higher wait times because we're going to address the most severe outcomes first, then we're going to then address the less severe outcomes. That's just how emergency rooms work. And when you judge an overall system based upon that scene,
you're doing a lot of monologuing, Parker. You're doing so much monologuing, but
dude, it's like I can't speak at all. Like, dude, hey,
Go
dude,
ahead.
like, actually, dude, stop cortisol maxing, stop stressing out. It's gonna be okay. We can have a conversation where we can both speak.
because
Like,
you
you're
say a
gonna get
lot
your
of
turn to
nothing,
speak.
Parker. You don't say anything, bro. What comes out of your mouth is nothing.
I'm not saying nothing right now. I'm
Yes, you
explaining things to you
monologue
right
and
now.
you just try to confuse everybody.
Can you
Here's
repeat
the
anything I
deal.
just said?
In Canada, bro, Canada uses a socialized healthcare system.
Hey, instead of just saying whatever you want to say, can you just tell me what I just said? Repeat anything? Tell me what my argument was. If it was
But
so
nothing you
useless.
say makes sense, Parker.
Well,
I'm
then just tell
telling
me
you,
to
in
explain it.
Canada, they use a socialized healthcare
So you're just not
system, bro.
following. All your issue was is that you're just not
Bro,
following.
and the wait time is diabolical, dude.
Hey, dude, you're just not following. It's okay.
Oh my God, bro.
Do you want to have a conversation?
Why don't
Let's
you
have that
pull it up?
conversation.
You
Let's
said you were
go
gonna
through
pull
this.
it up.
You're not listening.
So you won't pull it up because you know I'm right, Parker.
Wait, no.
You're cooked, dude.
Okay, so I mean,
You're cooked, man.
you'd have to one, cite something specific, and then two, as it relates to this,
Okay, so
I can
you want me to
acknowledge,
jump on the,
and
you
I've
want me to
always
jump on the
acknowledged,
computer?
I've always
you want me-
acknowledged that the wait times that are listed, of course, are higher. But that is for elective circumstances, and that's what you would expect when more people are able to get access to care in the first place. And the thing that you're
To
not
see a
considering
pediatrician,
is
it
all
takes
of these
4 months. Are
individuals
you
were
out of your
waiting, they
fucking-
just weren't able to afford it anyway. So the
Are you out
reason
of
why
your
there are
fucking?
longer wait times is because of that. So how do we reduce these wait times? Well, we have more providers. How do we increase the level of providers? Well, we increase access to schooling by federally subsidizing the
Schooling?
schooling
What the
for
fuck?
medical school
What the
and
fuck is this
getting
guy
rid of
talking
the
about?
limitations on of the American Medical Association of how many doctors can go into the field, how many nurses, etc.
Oh
Right?
my
And I think that
God, this
that would
guy
be
is
able to
talking a bunch
increase
of
care
blah blah.
alongside ensuring that people have adequate access to the things that they need.
Hey Parker, it's 4 weeks to see a pediatrician in Canada. That's oh my God, I wish I could say the R word, bro. But you know what?
Don't
Here's the
say that.
deal,
That's
Parker.
disgusting. Why do you wish you
Okay, I
could say
won't, but
that? That's
listen,
such a dude. You're
you
such a
Parker, you
crash
think
out. What a child, dude.
you think
Genuinely,
4 weeks is
stop,
fine,
stop
bro?
for a second. Stop for a second. You need to reevaluate your entire life. I've sat here and I've been incredibly nice with you.
Oh,
You are
says the
literally
guy who
such a crash out. You are such a crash
says
out.
the guy who sits at
Why
home.
can't you stop being triggered? Why are you so triggered? Why are you such a snowflake? Why does my existence piss you
Bro,
off so much? Genuinely, you're
4 weeks
such a
to see a
baby.
doctor.
You need like a pacifier and a baby
4
bottle just
weeks
so
to
that
see.
I can get a fucking point out. I'm not
Hey, you know what? Let me
monologuing. I'm
finish
just
because you know I
explaining
keep
my
you.
perspective, and you constantly, right, are just going to interrupt me. You are literally a child that needs a baby bottle. Now I'm gonna let you speak, and you're gonna random bullshit say everything about wait times after I've already addressed it like 3 or 4 times because you didn't listen to a single thing that I said. Go ahead and do it, buddy. Crash out harder.
Okay, Parker, shut your mouth for just 30 seconds then, bro. I know you like sucking Santana's wiener, bro, his micro penis, but just shut up for a second.
Is
You
that the best you
think,
got? Is being like homophobic?
hey, stop muting me, bro. You think four
And then stop
weeks to
crashing
see a
out.
pediatrician in Canada is normal, bro? You think that's normal? Parker, you think it's normal to wait 4 weeks?
Oh, that wasn't
Answer,
even
bro.
me.
It's a
That
yes
wasn't
or
me.
no.
That wasn't me.
It's a yes or no, Parker.
Yo, Dean. Oh my God.
It's a
Yo,
yes
Dean
or
got
no,
you with that
dude.
one, bro. Dean just lobbed that. Now you just got a
You're just
harassment
a
and bullying.
pussy.
Later, buddy. Dude, that guy is such a crash out. What a crash out, bro. Over wait times, bro. Like, jeez, bro, chill. Like, jeez, bro. Absolutely insane, dude. And by the way, like, that same notion of wait times isn't true to the same extent in every single universal healthcare system. I just want to clarify that as well. Like, there are things you can do to address those. And I think that's a better problem to have than, like, 45 to 68,000 American lives lost every single year due to lack of health insurance. Than like 130 million Americans struggling with medical debt. You know, like I would prefer that people have adequate access to that. You know, and what about all the like the like genuinely like all of the people impacted that can't go to the doctor in the first place because of that? It's just like I mean, I would rather that be it. I would rather that be something that we're dealing with right now. You know? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
I am 20.
Do you support Trump?
Yes and no. I have a question. I'm on the fence and I want.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go on to the next person who is a Trump supporter. I apologize. It does sound like you don't support Trump. Just go on to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
36. You know me, Parker. But I actually do want to debate you on something.
I don't want to talk to him. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Yeah, 19.
Do you support Trump? If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for? Okay, and what's your birth year?
My birth year is January 2nd, 2000.
Okay, and why do you support
I
Trump?
like his foreign.
Okay, what foreign policy?
I like what he doesn't negotiate easy. He's not too soft on our enemies.
He's not too soft on our enemies. I would say that he has us in a worse position right now with Iran. We had more political concessions a decade ago under the JCPOA under Obama. So, what benefit do you see from this war with Iran?
I'm just not comfortable with Iran having a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I just told you you weren't. I literally just addressed that point. Did you hear anything I just said?
Oh, with Obama's deal?
Yeah, we were in a better position preventing their enrichment of uranium. They were capped at
don't-
3.7% enrichment. We had unprecedented levels of surveillance over their nuclear enrichment facilities. They sold their enriched uranium to Russia. I mean,
Right, but I don't think that was a very smart deal because first of all, it only put like a timer on the bomb. It didn't actually prevent it long term.
isn't that exactly what every other deal would do as well? Like,
No, well, no, it would be
what?
permanent.
When you bomb it, then they can build it back later, right? That doesn't
No, not
completely
if
get
we-
rid of it.
not
The
if we
same thing is
prevent
also
their
true, like,
business.
if you were to prevent them from getting it completely right now, they could still possibly in the future develop it.
Right, but
So
besides
the
that,
way that you address that is through negotiation, through surveillance.
But besides that, we're giving them money to rebuild themselves to get stronger, and also
Wait, okay, so you mean like the money we gave them in good faith to be able to limit this from happening in the first place? That's so much less money than we're putting into this war in the first place, right? and it would to ensure the
I'm not
continued
worried about the money. I'm not worried
negotiation.
about
Trump is the one who pulled us out of the negotiation. How could you say the negotiation was going to fail in the future? How do you know that?
what do you mean the negotiation was gonna fail?
Yeah, how do you know
Um,
that the negotiation was going to fail?
we wouldn't know that, but we just meaning
Okay,
I
so
don't
then why
think
did you? Okay, so then you were judging that it was good to pull out of it because it wasn't going to work in the first place.
no, it
In the
wasn't
long
gonna
run,
work.
you said it was just a short-term thing. It wasn't going to work. Okay, so then how do you know that if you have no basis?
No,
You
I don't
don't.
know.
So then then you'd have to just continue to go through the deal, and if they do violate it, then you can judge based upon that. But you'd have to continually you'd have to see that. You'd have to have evidence of that first. You can't just say, "Oh, I feel like it. I feel like the vibes are off."
No, but I'm saying what I'm worried about is that they're getting if they're able to get stronger, then if they're able to get stronger, then if we're giving them money and they're getting stronger, then they'll be able to. It's easier. It's gonna be harder if it doesn't work. It's gonna be harder to. It's gonna be harder to stop them once they're stronger.
Okay, so and you mean in what ways specifically? Like what
Like
about them being stronger? You mean like they're gonna have more money in their economy?
like more money in the economy, and now they're using
Okay,
like
I have a
Cold
question.
War.
If our economy grows larger than theirs, do you think that that same effect would be true? Wouldn't we have more of an ability to as well?
No, because no matter how much our ability to, they can still prevent it. Meaning, no matter how powerful we are, making it harder to attack them is meaning if they're getting stronger, it won't really matter how powerful we are because we're already
You're
like
saying the
on the
way that they're getting stronger is monetarily speaking. But if we're growing at a quicker rate than they are, then we're getting stronger than them at a quicker rate than they are. So then what's the issue? Are you
I know,
saying
but at
are
some
you saying
point
that they'll just have like a are you making the claim that Marco Rubio was saying that like their ballistic missile program will be such a degree that it will limit us from being able to prevent them from developing nuclear weapons in the first place?
yeah, that's one example.
Okay. So don't you think that we'd have the capacities to prevent them from having that ballistic missile program, but just by blowing up their ballistic missile program and destroying it, like if we needed to, if they attacked us?
Well, we're trying to do that right now,
Like,
and
do you
it's
think that
taking.
they're gonna have more of a sophisticated ballistic missile program than like most of the other countries, like Russia or other countries like that, our adversaries?
What do you mean?
Do you think that they have
No, I
more of
don't.
so then what would limit us from being able to go after their nuclear? Wait, actually, hold up. You said that if we had the sanctions gone, we got rid of them, and we just let them build it up, that they'd be able to develop a ballistic missile program that would inevitably prevent us from being able to attack them. Didn't that happen through the Biden administration under your view?
What do you mean?
Like they
Can you
already
repeat the
used
question?
the years of the Biden administration to build up economically speaking, and under the Obama administration to build up economically speaking, and you're thinking
They
that they would
did.
have developed that ballistic missile program that would have prevented us from doing this in the first place? How come that doesn't
They
exist right now?
no, they did. It's just that meaning it would have built up more
So the
longer.
ballistic missile program right now is preventing us from hitting their nuclear enrichment sites? We already did that with
You
the
know
Midnight
what?
Hammer about a year
It's
ago.
it's not preventing it, but it's definitely we're definitely worse off because they
So
have
wait, so
it.
hold
They're
up. So now the
shooting.
ballistic missile program isn't preventing us from being able to address their nuclear enrichment facilities.
No, but we're far worse off because they have it.
Okay, so you're just saying you don't want them to develop ballistic missiles. Okay, well that's not an argument to go to war with them. That's crazy to say that you want to go to war just because they have ballistic missiles. That doesn't prevent us from addressing their nuclear weapon, their nuclear development. You understand that, right? So the way that we could have kept addressing their nuclear development is through the JCPOA. That's a continual deal that could have done so, and it ensures actual surveillance for there. And if they pull out of it or don't continue on that basis, well, then we can judge accordingly at that standpoint. But that's not what they indicated. That was Donald Trump that pulled us out of that deal and made it so that it was hard for us to even develop a deal in the first place, because inevitably he could just get back in the office again and just pull us out of it. Again, so Trump has destroyed the negotiation. This is a political blunder. The fact that you would support Donald Trump's foreign policy is insane. One, because he ran on no new wars, and two, because this is worse off in every metric.
No, because first of all, honestly, do you think that if Obama's plan went through and then they would actually be willing to negotiate after with continuing not developing a nuclear weapon? Do you think they're actually gonna stop completely with through negotiation?
I think that we are more likely to prevent them from developing a nuclear weapon if we continued on the JCPOA than the position that we are in right now.
Okay, I disagree with that. I don't think it
Okay,
would work out.
how? Because right now, Trump is trying to pull out with the 15-point plan.
Iran's not
So
like.
what political concessions do we have right now since the beginning of the war?
What do you mean?
What political concessions do we have right now since the beginning of the war? What political concessions have we got from Iran since the beginning of the war?
Not really.
That's embarrassing. That's
We haven't
really
really.
embarrassing.
I
I
don't
can't
think.
believe you point to that as a success.
I don't think they ever do. That's why I don't think the war. That's
You
why
know
I
all
don't
the
think
Trump
they'll do anything
supporters.
either. I think it's just pushing off the negotiations.
You know all the Trump supporters are like, oh my gosh, whenever Trump does something good, the liberals could never understand. But then like whenever Trump does something horribly atrocious and bad, like you're still just going to tell yourself a narrative that it was good. It's like when it's like objectively, if
No,
you look at the set of
I think
criteria,
it's
like
pushing off.
this story tells us that we're objectively at a worse standpoint. Because
How
with
are we
okay,
worse off?
you know what's crazy? We got no political objectives met through the war, no political concessions,
I think
and
we do.
wait, sorry, political concessions. That's what I meant to say. And then alongside that, we saw gas prices go up, inflation go up, 3.8% inflation right now, year over year.
Right.
We've
But
seen conditions become worse in terms of our economy across the board in terms of wages. We saw even a reduction for real wage growth. And what do we have to thank for that? Donald
think
Trump. Donald Trump. We have Donald Trump to thank for our economy doing significantly worse than what it would have otherwise done if we had a Democrat in office.
no, but to respond to the economy, well, if which you don't agree on, but if you agree that it's important to have the war, then it's worth it to have the gas prices up for like a few months, just so we don't have to worry about the concern of them having a nuclear weapon in the future. Now you disagree with that way they're doing it, I understand, so we could debate that, but
We
debating
didn't
that,
prevent that with the war that we just did. We didn't prevent them from having a nuclear weapon in the future.
but now they have like they literally have nothing now. So like
What do you
it'd
mean
be
they
much
have
easier.
nothing now? That's not true.
They basically have nothing. They're flying Cold War planes.
Okay, but you understand that's not what was a concern. You said the concern was their ballistic missile program and their nuclear
Yeah,
weapons program
they're hiding
or nuclear development program.
they're hiding their nuclear development program behind the ballistic missile.
I understand. You keep saying that, but what did we limit in terms of that?
We
So you're saying the war was justified. This negative impact on consumers and on our society, our economy, our economic growth is justified because we destroyed some of their ballistic missile program that they can just build back up?
I believe give it another few weeks or like maybe max 2 months. I believe it'll be over and we'll complete all our
No,
objectives.
just 2 more months. Just trust me, bro. We'll be okay.
I believe so.
So how do you feel about the president of the United States saying that he doesn't think about the economic state of affairs for the average person?
I think he said that in the context of relative to Iran having a nuclear weapon.
You understand that we could have prevented that without these economic losses.
I don't think it's preventing it. I think it's just pushing it off.
It is preventing. Like the original strike, Midnight Hammer, did it without all of those economic costs.
Yeah, but they were going to start again. But the fact that they were agreeing not to start again says they are doing it again.
Okay, so maybe that seems like Trump's negotiation isn't working. Maybe that seems like
Because
Trump's failing. If it's
it's not really
not,
Trump's
if it
negotiation,
literally,
it's
wait, if it
negotiation.
failed in real time for Trump, but it didn't fail for Obama's deal, why are you putting doubt on Obama's deal, but
I
not
don't think
Trump
Ba-
and how he's conducting the policy? Like,
I don't think Obama would've
genuinely,
succeeded.
what are these standards?
I don't think Obama would have succeeded. I think he just pushed it off.
Wait, you have no basis to say that it failed. We have a basis to say that Trump's
Right, because he
negotiation
didn't
has
have the
failed.
negotiation in the first place, so I can't say it failed.
What?
I don't. We didn't even have negotiations. They just pushed everything off. They said, "Okay, fine, we're going to have the negotiation."
We did have
in 10 years."
negotiations under Trump, and they failed, and then
Trump?
we bombed them, and then we started a war.
You think the problem with negotiation is Trump. I think the problem with negotiation is Iran. I think that Iran just is not going to negotiate and agree not to develop their nuclear.
Then
program.
why did they do that under the JCPOA?
Because it was a
Trump's
deal
the
that
one
they
who
were getting
pulled out of
money-
the JCPOA. So
Because
it
it was a
seems
deal
like
that they were getting money to revitalize their economy. It was a deal.
okay, but you said that they were going to pull out of this deal. You have no
I don't think they were
basis to
gonna
say
pull out.
that.
They legally because
Dude, I promise you, if Donald Trump got the JCPOA done, you'd be glazing it. You'd be glazing it. You'd be saying it's the greatest thing since
I don't think
sliced
so.
bread. I promise you that. If Donald Trump got a JCPOA with his name attached to it, I promise you Trump supporters would be screaming from the skyscrapers that Donald Trump saved the world from nuclear warfare and nuclear holocaust, and that he's the greatest president in the history of the world, a peace president, actually, and it's only because of him that this happened. You know, that's exactly what they would say. 100%.
okay, that's what you believe, but I disagree.
Okay, why?
Why? I don't think Iran is interested in working with America. They just want to get what works best for them.
Okay.
And if they want to start the nuclear program again, they will. So it's not. But I don't think pushing it. I don't think what Obama did is actually gonna permanently. Do you listen? Is yes or no question? Do you believe that most probably what Obama did will will end up that they will never make a nuclear weapon.
Say that again. What?
With Obama's deal, do you think it's likely that they would never make a nuclear weapon?
I think that that's the best shot we got at restricting their access to a nuclear weapon.
Before the best shot, do you think it was likely they would never end up developing a nuclear weapon?
I think the JCPOA is, I just told you, the best shot at restricting their access
It's
to
the
a
best
nuclear
shot,
weapon.
but do you think it's like the question wasn't if it was good compared to other options. The question is whether you believe it will actually make them not ever develop a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think it's just pushing it up.
Okay, and can you give me any other approach that isn't doing just that?
I think what Trump's doing right now.
But that hasn't prevented it. So,
Hasn't yet.
well,
It hasn't yet.
so what is he? So how do you know that it's going to lead to
I have
that?
a question. If it leads to that in 2 months, would you then go back and say everything Trump did was good?
No, because it's going to be it's going to be a watered down version of the JCPOA, right? Or if he gets the JCPOA, we're in the same position we were a decade ago.
No, because
Like, you guys would call it a foreign policy win for Trump to take us back and then put us back in the same position, you know? He moved us forward, but only from the position that he moved us back to.
well, I think he's permanently dismantling their nuclear capabilities. I don't think he's just
This
pushing
isn't
it off and giving
permanent.
them money for it.
What? How is he permanently getting rid of it? How?
You understand it's a whole different leadership right now because of him. That's much more.
It's still the IRGC. Oh my
Right.
God. You don't tell
Right.
me you just believe that, like, oh, they're much more reasonable because Trump
I
said.
don't think they are reasonable either. But I do think they're not like it's not one person's agenda. Rather,
Yeah,
it's not even.
if it's much more reasonable, they're getting these negotiations done. How come the negotiations been failing?
Because again, I'm not saying they are reasonable. We're saying they're more. They're more.
Then why isn't there
I
negotiation?
mean,
Then
don't
why
understand
isn't there negotiation? That's happened.
there is
and
negotiation.
finished.
They're not agreeing
Yeah, why haven't they agreed? Because they agreed.
because
There was an agreement
Why?
prior under the
Because they-
JCPOA.
because they have an objective. They want to have a nuclear weapon. Obama was just saying, Kevin, we're going
Why
to give you
though?
money
Like, answer the
not to build a
question.
nuclear weapon.
Why do they want that? Why do they want
Why?
that? Yeah.
Very good question. Maybe because they could close the straits with a leverage and say, and then no one's gonna be able to do anything about anything they could do because they have the leverage. of a
Isn't that
nuclear weapon.
happening right now?
No, now they have no leverage. Now we could do something to stop them. We
What?
could
Wait,
go to war
they
with
have no
them.
leverage because it's already harming us. So
No, because-
if you think that that's no leverage, well then it was no leverage in the first place.
No one's gonna want to go to a war with a nuclear armed army.
Dude, what is wrong with you? Genuinely, like, actually, Trump didn't prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon to any greater extent.
Not
He's put
yet.
us in a worse position in doing so.
Well, he destroyed their nuclear, but that was the first thing, and not yet. He didn't permanently do it yet, but I believe he will.
So you mean the Midnight Hammer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's something that, oh my God, dude, that's something that he could have done without going to war. He did that a year ago, okay? This whole war that he's done is useless.
I don't
If you
think
think
so.
that
I
he
think-
already did it a year ago.
No, because that was destroying it to set them back. Now he's working on something that will be peace in the Middle East after.
Peace in the Middle East, how?
I think he already made a lot of peace in the Middle East. Qatar and UAE are now shooting down missiles for us, allowing
No,
us to
explain to me,
operate military.
how is Trump going to establish peace with Iran?
He's gonna force them into it. With you understand how much they're suffering in this war right now?
Say it one time?
You understand how much they're losing? They're losing like $5 million a day in this war right now.
We're losing way more than that.
First of all, we can afford it.
Not with
Second
Trump's
of all-
economy.
Okay, Americans are spoiled. Like a dollar up. Listen, even by Biden, like everyone is freaking out. I don't think $2 up per guy.
Saying Americans are spoiled is crazy. Trump is a spoiled, greedy bastard, okay? Saying
I
the
think-
entirety of America is crazy. Most Americans are
No.
living paycheck to paycheck, my guy. Most
If-
Americans
if-
can't afford a random $400
Even
expense,
uh,
my
under-
guy.
I'll say it, under Biden's administration, the economy in America is way better than anything else around the world.
Under the
and-
Biden administration?
Under the Biden administration and the Trump administration. I'm saying Biden, so you can't say, oh, you're saying Trump.
And by the way, that's just not true. I just want to clarify. There are other areas with better media incomes and better access to basic amenities.
Okay, but we can't
social mobility,
experience
etc.
We can't experience the slightest inflation without freaking out.
What? Trump is causing this inflation, though. Biden didn't cause that inflation.
You're saying that we're losing more than Iran, which is ridiculous. Everyone knows that's not true. Iran's
We
like,
actually
collapsing
are, like,
now.
objectively per day. You said
We're-
they were losing 5
Iran's
million a
collapsing
day?
now.
We are losing more than that. Way more than that.
The war
Now,
cost is
now a
25
good criticism of that could be like, oh, difference in size of GDP. Yeah, that would be a good
Right.
basis for analysis. not whatever you're saying right now.
I'm not saying that they're spending more money. Actually, first of all, I think I'm surprised you're telling me that we spent more money in it. But
Yeah,
I
we
think they're
objectively are from a nominal standpoint.
$25 billion, something like that, the war costs.
Yeah, it was 25 to 50 billion dollars, and that's just over the past it's just over 60 days of the war.
Okay, but like I have a question. If you're like upset about these $50 billion, then why aren't you also upset about the wasted like $85 billion in the Afghanistan withdrawal from Biden?
80 Where'd you get the 85 billion dollar number? And Trump is
Because,
the one Trump is the one who set up that agreement to pull out.
He's the one that signed it, but he wouldn't have done that way. He's the one that signed the deadline.
So then
wasn't
why
gonna
did he
do it
leave
that way.
it? So if he wouldn't have done that way, why did he leave it up to Biden?
What?
Why did he do it himself?
Your question is, why did he leave it up to a stupid person?
Yeah, under your view, if he believes he's so stupid and sleepy and he's so cognitively declined, why did he leave it up to him?
Why did
Yeah,
well,
that seems like negligent to me.
Well, it's a good question, but
That you have no answer to.
I could throw the same question back at you though.
Oh no! Don't even try. Don't even try. Just answer the question first.
Maybe because it's not. He thought maybe there's a chance Biden will do it good.
He thought Biden would do good when he thinks he's sleepy, like
No,
the
because
worst
this
possible
is-
person for
no,
the
this is,
country.
like,
He was
overly stupid.
destroying
He's-
the country.
He thought he was just stupid, and this was like overly stupid.
So Trump was stupid.
No, he thinks Biden was stupid, but the move
So
was
he thinks
was
Biden
overly
is stupid, incompetent, delusional, cognitively declined, has dementia, but he's gonna leave it up to him.
Yeah, because this is even overly. Wait a second. He thinks even a stupid person can't mess up on this.
Oh come on! Oh come on! That's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you rather leave it up to someone who knows what they're doing and do it yourself, right? Than just leave it up to someone that you believe is incompetent.
You're not giving a good argument right now. You're saying basically.
I am giving you a
it's
good
Trump's
argument.
fault because he
I'm
left
saying
it to
based
Biden,
upon
but
your
you
own
can't see why
perspective,
Biden-
that
you can't
seems
defend Biden's
negligent.
position on doing
Wait,
it.
hold up. The point that I'm making is that it seems negligent based upon your own perspective.
I don't think it's negligent because as much as Trump talks trash about Biden, I think it's mostly for political gain, even though he does think he's not so smart. And I don't think he believes that that he was going to do such a stupid move.
Also, he didn't believe he was stupid when he was stupid.
He doesn't believe he was that stupid.
But doesn't he believe he's incompetent? Like he said all of the worst possible. I think you're just being
Right.
dishonest. He did believe
He
that,
also talked-
and
he
you're
also
just not
talked-
acknowledging that it's negligent.
Okay, but how are you going to defend
Like
Biden?
like
I
it
already told you
logically
what I said about
entails that
Trump.
it's negligent. Like I just want to clarify that.
But how are you going to defend Biden now that I told you that?
Told me what?
How are you going to defend Biden with the Afghanistan withdrawal? Why did he do it that way?
Oh, I don't think there's anything that he could have done that would have prevented that from happening. Can you tell me what he would have done that would have prevented that? I've yet to hear that from any single person.
First of all, you pull out the soldier. You pull out the stuff first before the
What
people,
stuff first?
The equipment.
So they were trying to do that.
They were trying to do that.
Yeah, they did that. They
I don't
destroyed
think-
it on site or took it away, and then
I have a very
people
hard
came.
time thinking. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think if Trump was president, any of this would have happened.
Okay,
don't
but
think he
tell
was
me
on those
what would
weakness
have
like this.
happened. You can't tell me specifically what would have happened differently.
would've-
This is
he
just
would've-
you
he would've-
saying,
he
"Bro,
would've- he
trust me,
would've-
bro. I like the vibes of Trump better."
He would have signed the deal with the Taliban and cutting ties with Al Qaeda.
He already signed the deal with the Taliban to give them 5,000 members back.
Cutting ties with Al Qaeda.
Yeah, and I told you what actually he signed with the Taliban.
Okay, but I'm saying what he would have done when he was pulling out.
That makes no sense. I see no evidence to say that. You're just like literally.
You're saying because there's no evidence that.
Yeah, how
you're
would
saying-
you just randomly while pulling out be able to get
Yeah,
that
you're
agreement?
saying
Like
since-
that makes no
since-
sense. Like
You're saying since Biden did a really stupid thing, there's no evidence Trump wouldn't do the same stupid thing also.
no, I'm saying, can you tell me what he would have done differently? If not, then I don't
I
see
told-
what you're saying. And also, what did
I don't need to
Biden
bring
do that?
evidence that
What did
Trump
Biden
wouldn't
do
also
that was
be-
stupid? I don't even think you can elaborate on
He
that.
wasn't. I think he didn't do anything to make sure that that like 13 soldiers don't die and we give them $7 billion worth of like top military equipment.
So the equipment that was left over was particularly given to the Afghan government to defend themselves. So either you're
Right.
saying that Trump would have given no equipment to the Afghan government to defend themselves, meaning
Correct.
the whole reason we were there in the first place was irrelevant, and there's no basis to help them. You're just going to acknowledge the Taliban's taking over at that particular point, which, by the way, right, isn't a better outcome under your view, right? Because you didn't even. Because by the way, that's like saying you wouldn't even want to try it to let them defend themselves, because before this we had no clue what was going to happen, whether or not that was going to happen right away. So you wouldn't even have tried. You would have just said, I'll just let the Taliban take over. But that's one thing. And then secondly, also, you're saying that allowing that would have prevented the service members from dying? How?
What do you mean allowing what?
Yeah. What's it called? You're saying the deal would have prevented, or how Trump would have done it would have prevented the service members from dying in what way?
The way they pulled out.
Yeah, and
That-
how
that-
would they have pulled out that would have prevented them from dying?
I'm not like what's it called? A war strategist. I just to tell you
Then you
that
can't make a claim like that.
I have a question. You keep on talking about the double
Oh,
standard.
don't pivot first. Don't pivot. You
No,
can't
no,
make a
this is like
claim like
this.
that. Can you agree? Like that's bullshit that you're just basing it
Right,
on
I can't make
vibes,
a claim
bro.
with that based on nothing. But what's it called? You keep on talking about the double standard I have with Trump defending his things. If Trump did this, would you be defending Trump on this?
I wouldn't be able to establish what he could have done differently that would have prevented that from happening.
You wouldn't be attacking Trump if the exact same thing happened under Trump.
I don't see what the attack would be.
The attack
Because
would
I don't
be
have information to claim what he could have done differently. Like with, for example, with the Iran war, the reason why I can attack Trump with that is because he literally is the one who caused the war. I can
You're saying you
indicate that
wouldn't
it's
attack
specifically that him that's responsible for it. I didn't claim, for example, that he caused COVID. Like I don't just blame things because it happens under his
Well,
administration.
because that would be because that's not just lack of evidence. That would just make you sound stupid.
What's that?
That wouldn't be lack of evidence. That would just be like make you sound stupid that Trump caused COVID.
That's because there's a lack of evidence for that, and there's no evidence for that. And that sounds ridiculous
No, because we have extreme reasons
because
to
that's
see
a
otherwise.
correlation causation fallacy. That's the point that I'm making.
It's because we have extreme reasons to see otherwise. Here we don't have extreme reasons to see otherwise.
Well, you have no reason to say that what Trump would have done differently that would have prevented this. Whereas specifically with the war with Iran, with the 16 service members that have died with the war, I can point to specific things that the Harris administration would have done that would have prevented that from happening.
What are you talking about now?
Yeah, like she wouldn't have gone to war with Iran.
Right, she probably wouldn't have.
Okay, so that would have prevented the service members from dying.
I think this is necessary.
How? You said we got nothing, no political concessions from the war.
Only about political concessions. I told you I believe in 2 months it'll be good.
How?
We're gonna get political concessions, or we're gonna take it to the greater extent.
Either we're going to get political concessions or we'll take it to a greater extent. What is the greater extent?
Confiscating their uranium.
Which means we have to do boots on the ground.
Maybe, probably.
So you would support boots on the ground in Iran?
Depends how much boots on the ground and what it would take.
Okay. Would you enlist? Can we put you on the front lines for that operation?
I wouldn't enlist in the army whether or not I would be in the front lines of that operation.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be in the army, even if it wouldn't be.
Why not?
That's ridiculous. You're like saying, so you're saying war is
Well,
never.
you support military
never go to war because-
operations
Are you saying
on
you
the
should never go to war
ground in
because-
Iran on the offensive. I'm
Wait,
asking, would you involve yourself in that process? I'm just asking
No.
why you wouldn't.
No. I have a question. Is war ever necessary?
Wait, but why not? Is my question.
Why? Because it's a risky operation.
Okay, and if you were, it's a risky operation, but you're okay with putting other people at that risk?
If war is necessary, that's what you do. Is war ever necessary?
This
I have
is
a question.
wait. This isn't necessary.
Hey, so that's what we were arguing the whole time.
And you
is
want to
why
know something crazy? We confiscated, right, the enriched uranium by having them sell it to Russia under the JCPOA. So by the way, you're doing all of this boots on the ground just for the same stuff that was already established 10 years ago under Obama. You see what I mean? Like
No.
you'll be like, oh, Trump, you're so amazing for doing this. This was what was necessary, actually. But then Trump pulling out of the agreement, you don't give him any for that.
I think that was a
That was
good
actually
agreement.
the great move. Actually, he actually did a really good there. That would have
Especially
given
that I
them
don't
more
have
money,
those
actually. So I would prefer that they have less money and more nukes. Okay, more nukes, more enriched uranium.
I'm supporting boots on the ground even before Trump did it. So it's not just because Trump does it.
What's up, say that
I
again?
said I say I support boots on the ground before Trump says he's doing it. So it's not because Trump is doing it.
So you supported boots on the ground prior is your justification. What you're not understanding is that we already prevented this under the
I
JCPOA.
don't think that's prevented. Again, we're going back to the same thing.
It
we said
was.
before.
They gave up their enriched uranium to Russia.
Right, only to number one. There's no way to know, by the
Yeah,
way, if they aren't.
it is. We had. There's no way to know. Well, the one way you could know is you have surveillance.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't surveillance. It was
what?
inspections. It was inspections that they got 24
That's
hour.
wait. What is an inspection? That's
Inspection is-
surveillance. And also, we had
No.
24/7 surveillance, didn't we?
No,
Yeah, we did.
24. What's the source for that?
Yeah, we could
No,
come in
that-
at any time.
No, we can't come in at a time. We notify them 24 hours before we come in.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
sir, wait, JCPOA, or after this, I'll just look up what were conditions of surveillance under JCPOA. Give me 1 second. The IAEA monitoring, real-time reporting, and access to all relevant sites. I don't see anything that says. Wait, so let me see. 24 hours. Even so, you can't get rid of all of the uranium in that short of a time period.
How do you know?
How do I know?
What do you know about getting rid of uranium?
Because you understand that like these particular agreements wouldn't allow for that if it is the case that that was possible. One and two. Also,
No, I don't.
like
I don't.
it's
I don't think Obama's
radioactive,
at
right?
what?
Like there's a trace of it. That's why we can identify it. So I don't think it's that crazy to extrapolate that we'd be able to identify that they had uranium in that sort of facility if they got rid of it, right? Teresa, thank you so much for all the galaxies. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I don't think there was. I think there was. I don't think it was for sure.
Thank you so much,
no.
Teresa. What's up? Say it again.
I don't think. I think they definitely have a way. They have a way around it.
Okay, what was the way around it?
Iran. I'm saying. I'm not. The guy's trying to
So, dude,
brainstorm,
you
trying
can
to figure it out.
just like say things,
It's a worry.
and you
No,
need
it's
no
not. What do you mean?
justification.
I don't need justification when you have a concern about something. You have to.
I don't
be
see
concerned about
24
certain
hours
outcomes that
within
don't
any
have
of the
evidence.
media thing.
You have to
Okay,
be concerned about outcomes. You have to be concerned about outcomes that don't. You don't need evidence for your concerns about certain outcomes. That's not how
you
it
don't need
works.
evidence for your concern.
No, evidence is not like for sure they're getting rid of it. No, maybe they're getting rid of it, and we might have to be worried about it. We don't need evidence
Well,
for that.
obviously you can investigate, but you're making claims of like things to be true. You're not just saying you're concerned about it, right?
I'm not saying they for sure are getting rid of it. I'm not saying.
Wait, you said that for sure that the JCPOA wouldn't follow through, correct?
I didn't say for sure. I said I don't think it's effective. I think what Trump's doing is a lot more effective.
Okay, but why? When you
Went
say you
through, like,
think that there's a notion of justification behind what you believe to be true, right?
Yeah. I don't think it was effective. What do you mean? Why do I think it's more effective? It just we went through this like a lot of times. It's either they're gonna agree to something, or we're just gonna or.
And by the
Yeah.
way, let me just clarify. You know that the JCPOA restricted Iran from enriching uranium past 3.67% until 2030. So this deal would still be in place.
Renting it off again. It's not like
2030. What?
Hey.
That's pushing it off pretty far down the line.
think- okay.
That's 15 years, my guy.
So Obama's 2030. Trump is forever. So why is that?
Wait, Trump isn't forever. What are you talking about? Trump is forever. What
I
are you
think
saying?
Trump doesn't want it to be
What are you
2030. He wants
saying?
to be
What are you saying? Trump is forever. What the fuck are you talking about?
Again, if Trump completes the objective that forever they're not gonna have a nuclear weapon, they're not gonna have a nuclear for past 2030. Would you say in a way that's a good thing, even though you don't agree with the way he did it?
All right, repeat that one more time, dude. You're kind of like mumbling a little bit sometimes.
If he actually completes the objective of Iran never being able to get a nuclear weapon, would you admit that in ways that's a good thing, even though you disagree with the way he did it?
That if he prevents them from getting a nuclear weapon,
That it would be a better objective than Obama had.
if it's permanent,
Yes.
wait, I don't see how it would be permanent. I've already addressed this point. That's bullshit. You don't understand what you're talking about.
I
You don't
think it's
think
gonna be
so?
permanent.
You think that they'll have no ability to get uranium?
We-
They'll have
we would
no
know right
ability
away.
to develop the
We would know.
the information.
We would know right away. We would know right away.
How?
Based on where they get it from, they can't. They don't have the materials. They don't have the materials in Iran for a nuclear weapon. It has to be shipped from other places. We would know with intelligence.
Okay, but how would we have the intelligence in all scenarios? Are you saying that we would have a constant blockade around Iran or something?
No, we would know. We would know if
We would
if
just
we are
know.
shipping. By the way, thanks to Israel, actually, a lot of
We
it's a
would
big
know
double
because
standard.
of Israel?
Actually, a big double standard held against Israel. People say we fund them. We save a lot more money off of Israel than we actually we send into
Oh,
Israel.
f off, dude. You're such a cringe. How? Do you have any study or source that we're saving money from funding Israel?
Yeah, I'm sure you agree that we need security in the Middle East.
I don't think it's our job to militarily intervene
No.
to establish that, and I don't think we should be
Not
funding
to
Israel.
intervene. We have security everywhere. We have
Funding
security within the
Israel has
airlines.
destabilized our relations all around the world, right?
What do you think funding Israel is, by the way? Funding Israel is not like a check they give over to Israel. It's a certain amount, like $3.8 billion a year that you just send over. That's not what it is.
I understand, of course, but I still don't think we should be providing.
Yeah. I think we save a lot of money because I think we
How?
need
What's the source?
we need security and intelligence in the Middle East. That's a need. Anyone that has somewhat of intelligence regarding military strategy will know you need you need all around the world strategic intelligence and security.
Yeah. So
either we have to
what's
go
the
to Israel-
ROI, my guy?
So either
How
we
do
have
you
to
know?
spend billions of dollars doing it there, or we just have um Israel doing it for
So
us.
what's the R? Wait, so we don't have to do this. Why do we have to do this in the first place?
What do you mean? What to do? What?
You said militarily intervene. It'll be cheaper for us if we have Israel do it than if we
Why do we
militarily
have to do it?
intervene. What's up?
You're asking what? You're asking why we have to do it?
Yeah, why do we have to do that military intervention in the first place?
I'm not saying intervention. It's a place where we have intelligence on in the Middle East with Russia.
Yeah,
Not
but
only
like, what's
just
the
over the
ROI
Middle
on that
East,
intelligence?
regarding Russia and China also. It's not just Iran.
Yeah, and you're saying in what type of intelligence that would we be able to grant is making us more money than we're spending in the first place? You can't justify that. That's just a bullshit claim. You whipped that right out of your ass.
You're making it as
You
if
have
I'm
no
making like
source for this.
You're making it as like I'm making crazy claims. How about we just both do a
You
Google
are.
search? How much are we saving?
Go ahead, do that Google search. I'm gonna mute you and thank people. Do your Google search. Junior, thank you so much for the $1, by the way. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's so ridiculous, right? I know, right? Angela, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. Wendy, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. Stacy, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Stacy, thank you. Thank you so much, Stacy. Michelle, thank you for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is true, Michelle. That is true. Jaden, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, he was crazy, that last guy. Angela, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. Jacqueline, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Thank you. Amy, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know. I totally see you there. I totally see you there. Marcia, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, definitely in terms of severity, it's almost immediately. If it's like a severe situation. By the way, again, if you're on YouTube, everyone make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. We should be on live for about 3 more hours or so. I have a strict cutoff at 1:30. Strict cutoff at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, everybody. As well as Brand, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Mel, thank you again for the $2 or for the $5. Kidwana, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. Marcy, again for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it altogether. Thank you. Thank you so much. As well as Bridget, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, absolutely insane. I totally get you there. Kayla, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That was yesterday. I think I'm caught up, as well as Crazy Couch. Thank you so much for the $2. I don't think there's really a way to, honestly. As well as Pix, thank you so much for the $6.66. Thank you very much for the flicker checkpoint. We'll see. Did you find your stuff, Steve?
Yeah. It's I searched up and it's listing off a lot of gains about what Russia and China how we would gain, and it would be really important for us to have intelligence regarding Russia and China.
But like, what's the monetary ROI for that?
Like, you make your question more simple.
Yeah. How do you know how much money we're making from that?
Okay. How money?
The point I'm making is that you don't know. There is no
No,
specific
no.
number on that. So like,
No,
don't claim
you
you're
don't know
making it's
either.
just
So we'll
ridiculous.
see who's
Like,
right. Tens of billions of dollars annually. 15 to 75 billion. It says Google says 15 to 75
what's
billion
the
dollars
source
annually.
that it cites?
CIA annual budget estimation at $15 billion.
Of 50 million?
50 billion. 15 billion.
Yeah, that's the annual budget of the CIA, my guy. That's how much we spend on those operations for intelligence.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence what evidence do you have that we're saving money?
Okay, wait.
You just referenced the CIA budget. Come on, bro. Feisty, thank you for the 5 membership subscriptions. Thank you very much. Come on, bro. Hey, if you're here on TikTok, everyone tap that screen. If you're here on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. It really helps get it out to more people. Again, to go over the news for everybody, Trump on Truth Social posted a literal picture depicting Venezuela as the 51st state. It's crazy. Actually, while you're here, I'm going to ask you about it. Steve, do you think Venezuela should be the 51st state?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so how do you feel about Trump posting that on Truth Social?
It's a silly idea. He doesn't believe he's doing it himself.
So you just think that they're rage baiting? You think the president's social media should be used to rage bait people for fun?
I'm not gonna police him what he should or shouldn't do regarding those silly things he says. Would I do it? Probably not. But
like he's not.
Again,
He's
he's
threatening the sovereignty of these countries. It's not just with Venezuela. It's also with Canada. It's also with Greenland. He's continually doing this.
Listen, I'll tell you the truth. I don't love that, but I still don't support Harris, and I'd rather him than Harris. So.
Okay, so but like you're willing to just overlook that?
Rather than giving Harris, I overlook that. Would you listen if
That's so
you
ridiculous to me.
I have a question. If Harris just said those things and started doing rage baiting, would you support? And Trump just everything about Trump
I
would
would
be the
not
same?
support. I would have a huge issue with her doing that. And
That's
so
a huge issue,
it goes
but
beyond. It goes
would you
beyond.
then start? Would you then support Trump if Trump didn't do that? He just did everything else
I
Trump
would
did?
support other candidates within the party, right? You would do that
Okay,
too, right?
so I support
Well,
other
such as
candidates, such as Marco Rubio, such
that's
as
on the Trump administration.
well, he's not rage baiting. Who said he supports Trump rage baiting?
Okay, well, he supports Trump, and he's still a part of the administration that's doing that.
I don't think he would say. Well, so what? Okay, fine. So because he's trying to do stuff good for the country, not because he.
So why do you
actually
support? So tell
likes
us, why do
everything.
you? Can you name one good thing that Lil Marco has
I
done?
mean, he's actually running for he's doing all the jobs of the people that Trump fired. Actually,
Yeah. So like what? It seems like he's in a new job every day. So it seems like he's not really carrying out anything in specific. So can you tell me anything that he's done, like in specific, that he's actually
what
upheld?
do you mean? Like he's the Secretary of State.
Yeah, but what has Little Marco done?
Little Marco.
Yeah, that is literally what Trump called him, Little Marco.
You see how like he can hate someone, but then he doesn't actually hate them. He just does it for political gain.
So you're happy that he's a liar.
Am I happy
Little
that he's
Marco,
lying?
actually, okay. He's so little, okay, actually, very small
Listen,
hands.
I'll tell you, I'm happier that he's a liar.
Little brain Marco, okay, actually. Little
happier that he's a
Marco, what I'm
liar.
talking about, Little Marco. I'm saying it's his brain is small, actually.
I'm happier that he's a liar than he doesn't actually have these crazy beliefs that we should think that Venezuela should become the 31st state. Yeah, I am
So
happier
can
that
you name one policy he supports that you like? Marco, Little Marco?
I like his view of everything. I'm not talking about specific policies.
I like his view on everything, actually. Can you name anything in specific?
Listen, I just need to hear him talk, and I watch Harris talk, and like, and
Can you name anything
could
in
you could judge
specific
based
that
on
he supports that you like? Name one policy, name one ideological belief, anything.
He supports the war in Iran.
So he's Israel first, actually. I support Little Marco because he's Israel first, okay? Because he puts America I can't do it. He puts America last. Okay, I can't do it right
I would-
now. He puts
I would
America
probably
last,
vote
bro.
for Harris.
He
I
puts
would probably
Israel
vote-
first, America last.
tell
Is
you
that what it is?
something?
What's up?
I would actually probably vote for Harris over.
How would you say that from your side? That's funny. That's funny. So can you explain to me what's the relevant difference between Trump and Tucker Carlson that means that you would vote for Harris over Tucker Carlson but not over Trump?
Because
He's not
I
orange
think
enough, actually.
Tucker Carlson has a tremendous double standard when it comes to Israel.
A double standard, like what specifically?
Like for some reason, Israel is worse than like Russia.
You know, that is a relatively fair criticism, but I mean, I think that they're both bad, and I think that you could say that the only reason you're criticizing him there is because he was like pro Russia and he was like going to Russia and stuff. So the criticizing there is on the fact that he's pro Russia, but you're okay with you have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it because of him being hypocritical, or is it because of him being pro Russia?
It's hypocritical.
Okay, so if I could determine that Trump is hypocritical, would you say that
No,
you wouldn't
it's-
support him over Kamala Harris?
No, but this hypocritical comes from the idea
Wait,
of being
pause.
anti-Semite.
Oh, okay, so he's anti-Semitic. Okay, so if I could prove to you Trump is racist, would you stop supporting him?
Prove to me that he's racist.
Yeah. Okay, so he posted pictures depicting Michelle and Barack Obama as apes.
Right, and you know that Biden was also ape in there.
Biden?
Yeah, Biden in that same video.
And
he was also ape.
even so, it's still racist to do that.
I don't think.
Do you
that's
not think
racist.
do you not think it's racist to depict black people as apes?
Well, not if everyone's an animal, including Biden, which is not black, is also ape, right? So you can't say Obama was a black because he's ape.
What? That's
So-
still racist. It's still racist. Even if you made Biden an ape in the scenario, that still is racist to depict Michelle and Barack Obama as ape.
I believe you're taking out context.
How?
How can
How is that out of context?
because
What?
Biden's also ape.
What context justifies that?
What context justifies that? Because let's say he showed a picture of everyone in the world as apes, and includes Biden and Michelle Obama, right? So as long as nothing to do with being black, right?
So I think that that's specifically, obviously, like the context that's being provided is he's doing this to make fun of people. Do you agree?
He was actually doing it.
Do you
to show
agree?
that,
Do you
like,
agree that this is to make fun of people?
It. I don't think it was the primary reason to make fun of people, but it was definitely one
Really?
of the
So then,
reasons.
why did they have Harry Sisson in the video as a pink
The reason
flamingo?
was to show that because the reason for the video was to show that like Trump is the king and everyone should be bowing down to him.
Yeah, but like the point of it was to make fun of the Democrats, right?
Okay, all right.
So
Yeah,
they're
it was-
making fun of Michelle and Barack Obama by depicting them as apes. That's racism. If you can't identify that's racism, then I'm sorry, you're a idiot. Like an actual idiot.
Again, so why
Are
make
you
Biden
actually
ape
serious? You
also?
can't identify that that's racist? What about him calling Hakeem Jeffries a low IQ thug? What about him popularizing the birther movement, saying that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, to undermining him being president of the United States when there's a birth certificate of him born in the United States? What about when he didn't rent to black people in the 1970s? What about when he called for the of the Central Park Five, even though they were exonerated based on DNA evidence? None of those things to you are racist?
It could be
But
saying,
Tucker
have
Carlson being
underlying racist
hypocritical
tones.
means he's anti-Semitic under your view.
What?
Do you see how low your standard is for anti-Semitism, but how high your standard is for racism?
No, because he's not having any double standard for black people.
What? You don't think that Tucker Carlson has ever perpetuated racist propaganda? Are you serious, dude? Didn't he like do the whole thing about like the Great Replacement?
Maybe you didn't understand what I said. I said I don't think Trump, not talking about Tucker Carlson right now, has any double standard when it comes to
Black people.
Right.
And Trump absolutely does. Do you think not renting to black people is a double standard applied to black people? Do you think that him depicting them as apes to make fun of them, which is a racist trope targeted against black people, you don't think that is? Him calling Hakeem Jeffries a low IQ thug, you don't think those things are used against people who are black as stereotypes to disenfranchise black people in this country?
No. Out of context, yeah. I said in context, no.
Wait, do you think that there are any racial stereotypes that are wrong to like make? Like, do you think as a white person it's okay just to like make fun of people who are black using racial stereotypes?
No, I don't think we should. You know
That's
what? I don't
what
think we
Trump's
should
doing.
focus.
That's
I don't think we
literally
should be
what Trump's
focusing on
doing.
race at
And
all.
is that racist? Tina, thank you so much for the ignition check. Thank you.
Is what racist?
Is it racist for him to be perpetuating these racist stereotypes of black people?
I don't think it's a stereotype.
These what? You don't think that depicting black people as apes is a racial stereotype tied to black
Depicting
people
white
to
people as apes
disenfranchise
also?
them?
Depicting white people as apes also?
Wait, you understand that he's explicitly doing this to make fun of people who are black? And also, by the way, what part of the video depicts Biden that
Was
way?
Biden eating a banana, whatever it is, and watch the video. Watch the whole video.
Yeah. Where's Biden in the video?
He's a little after.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the video because I think you're lying. Thank you for Usfark. Thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, give me 1 second. We're gonna go through it. Taking a second to load. Gonna show me the full video? No. Let me go to YouTube and I'll just find it on YouTube. It's all about him taking down the video. Where the is the? Or refuses to take it down. Sorry, the video's not coming up. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. Do you want to bring up something while I do this? Or do you just want to sit here in silence? No, you'll just sit here in silence?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Wow, you don't want to speak about something while I'm finding the video? So that it's not
that's
silent
right.
on the stream? I'm trying to find here. Let's see. Let me go through the whole video. There's a different depiction for Biden, and even so, like dude, do you not consider that racist?
I don't consider it racist. I don't think it was.
Okay, so what is racist to you?
Racist is against a race or dislike against a race.
So like not renting to black people because they're black?
I don't think he did that.
You don't think what? You don't
He
think he
didn't
did that,
rent
even though there's a
black-
court case that determined this, and they had to apologize for it in the newspaper?
Wait,
Trump.
listen.
He had to, in the settlement, he had to literally apologize for it in the newspaper and say, "Oh, now we're renting to black
I
people."
don't think he said that. Can you show me where he said that?
Yeah, that was in the New York newspaper.
He said I don't rent to black people because they're black.
No, they rented out stuff in the newspaper to rent to them that it says we're now renting to black people. And you can take a look at the court case specifically, and you can see how they had testers that would go in that are white and black specifically,
Yeah,
where they told the white people specifically the same qualifications, that there were openings, and then at the same time when the people who were black went in, they said that there were no
You
openings.
know what? If I look into it and I see the context is exactly as what you're saying, then I would say that it's racist. Yeah.
Okay, then do you want to go look that up? Because then you would then indicate
I mean,
that
listen,
you would
takes-
stop supporting Trump, right? Like
Huh?
if this was true, you'd stop supporting Trump.
Again, supporting someone is supporting them relative to someone else, right?
Wait, but you just said you wouldn't support Tucker Carlson over Kamala Harris. You'd rather vote for Kamala Harris over Tucker Carlson because he's anti-Semitic.
Right.
Well, I have a question. Do you think the statement that Jewish people, if they don't vote for me, they need to get their head examined, is an anti-Semitic statement?
No, absolutely not.
No?
I agree with that.
You agree
Yeah.
that
I don't think
Jewish
it's
people need to
anti-Semitic.
get their head examined if they don't vote for Trump?
Because it's crazy if they don't vote for him because of what he's doing for the people, and
They need to get their head
He
examined.
always talks in extreme ways. It's not like specifically to.
Okay.
Are you trying? Are you trying to say Trump is anti-Semitic?
I mean, I definitely think there are decent arguments for
Do you
him
think
being
he's
bigoted
anti-Semitic?
towards, all groups of people.
I think he's anti-Semitic. So
I
funny
can't-
that
I can't even hear
you're
what you
saying
just said.
double. Maybe you're saying I have a double standard against for Trump. I think you definitely have a double standard against Trump.
How?
How? You're telling me something was said. I I know you don't believe Trump is anti-Semite. You're saying that anyway.
I don't even have to make that argument. I just have to make the argument that he's bigoted.
But you're making your argument.
Well, you
that
don't
something
think statements such as those would qualify. So
No.
like,
I
okay.
understand why he said it. I understand what he's trying to say.
You
I'm not
don't
trying.
think him depicting Hakeem Jeffries as literally him saying low IQ thug is racist?
No.
So you don't think calling black people low IQ thugs is a racist thing?
If because he happened to be black, so you can't call him a thug anymore.
That's racist. Yeah, it's literally a racist trope applied to people who are black. Can you tell me what crime he's committed?
I disagree with the whole thing. That since
What
there are
crime has
stereotypes.
Hakeem Jeffries committed?
What? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. I didn't even know he said that. Saying someone straight up.
He put this
is a
on his
thug.
Truth Social.
Okay, but saying someone straight up, it was just because there are stereotypes of blacks being thugs.
Black
Black
people,
people being-
black people. Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay, you wouldn't get upset if I said whites, did you? Would you?
I think that you probably should just say white people, but I wouldn't care as much because it's not as a thing that's perpetuated against people who are white to disenfranchise them.
Right.
But
so
this does dehumanize people who
so
are
where
black,
me and you-
and it
so
is
where me and you-
perpetuated against people who are black to dehumanize them. So I just
Right, so
want to
where me
be
and you
clear.
differ- so
There
where
are
me and you
differences
differ
in the
is-
impacts. So yeah, I'm gonna
So
care
where
more in one scenario where there's a greater impact.
So where me and you differ is I don't focus on actual stereotypes. I treat everyone the same. I don't be softer on one type of person.
I'm sorry,
this
that's
is
just like you have to acknowledge how people are disenfranchised and treated differently based upon the systems that exist in society. You're just saying to be blind to intersectionalism.
I know it's not true. I think that causes more racism because
No, it
focusing
doesn't.
on-
To acknowledge
It does.
racism is to not cause racism. It's to be able to address it in the first place. You're just saying like if you acknowledge problems in
I
a
think
relationship.
racism only
Wait,
exists
if you
because-
acknowledge that there's a problem in a relationship that you have, do you think that that is going to like cause your relationship to be worse?
Difference between what? Wait, depends if you
Or do you think
acknowledge it
that
or
will
if
make a
you-
stronger relationship if you acknowledge it?
Well, it'll make a stronger neighborhood if you acknowledge it. But if you talk about it all day, then I don't think it'll make it any stronger.
Do you understand there's a difference between like you're saying talk about it all day, like you understand there's a difference in priorities? Like obviously it's something that we address, we bring up, but it's not the only topic that's ever talked about. Like I think you're being dishonest.
I don't think so. What do you mean? No, literally, Biden said he's gonna get a black candidate to be his VP.
That's
because
not what he
cares
said
about
actually.
equalities.
That's not what he said. He said that the candidate that he picked for VP is a
A
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
And so sorry, black. But even that, why are we focusing on the person's if a woman or not? Why can't we focus on what they deliver to the table?
You know, Trump did that for the Supreme Court. He was just telling you a characteristic that they have. That's all it was. Like you know, in a
Before he even
yeah. For example,
picked her.
if you're dropping a story, a book, and in this new book, you say that the main character is a woman, is that an issue?
No, because even before he
Is
picked
that no?
her, he
Wait,
said
so
he was
obviously
gonna-
that wouldn't be an issue, right?
No, that wouldn't be an
But
issue.
but like in dropping the book, you could totally tell people like, oh, in this book, the main character is a woman, right? And that could totally make sense, right?
Yeah. Sure. I don't.
In the
no,
same way
because-
that we could say that, for example, like when I'm picking a vice president, the vice president's a woman.
No,
Because it
he's
gives
gonna pick
gives
the-
people kind of like somewhat of a hint to be like, oh, I'm gonna speculate who it's gonna be, right?
So you're saying he already knew who was he was
Yeah.
gonna pick. And
Yeah, yeah.
How come he didn't say who it was?
How could he? Wait, what? Why didn't he just say at that point? Because it was too
Yeah.
early in the cycle. They announced it
Okay.
later on.
You know what? I'll accept that argument. But yeah. So would you agree it's wrong if that wasn't true? And he says I'm picking her because she's a woman. Would that be wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, but,
It wouldn't be wrong, but I'm telling you that's not what happened.
Okay,
So
but
not only did it not happen that way, but also it wouldn't even be wrong if it happened that
I
way.
think the American people care more about.
Dude, Trump picks them, the people in his administration, because they're MAGA. Literally, he
Right, that's
got
true.
people to
People
be
want-
fired in the federal government who said bad things about him, like he's Homelander, bro. Come on.
Right. Listen, I disagree with that.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge
Listen,
that. That's like
unlike
way
you, I'm
more.
not gonna defend-
That
unlike you, I'm not gonna
actually puts a
defend-
risk to efficiency within the federal government. Not saying we want to be more inclusive of communities that have been historically not allowed into these positions of power, which should be allowed in these positions of power, but have been limited from being in these positions of power.
So what? Unlike you, I'm not gonna like defend everything Trump does. I'm defending everything Biden does.
I did not
I don't
ever
think I-
defend everything that Biden did. What?
Everything in this argument I'm bringing up about Biden, you're defending. I'm condemning a lot of things you're saying Trump does.
Okay. But have you brought up anything about Biden that would be something that I would condemn? There are countless things I talk about Biden all the time that I disagree with, but we haven't had a conversation about that yet. You're saying I defend everything. Do you think that I would support Biden even if he was held civilly liable of abusing a
I
woman?
don't know. I don't think.
No?
I don't.
No.
I don't think.
No. No. The answer is no, I would. But do you still support Trump even though he was held civilly liable of abusing a woman?
I don't
Yeah,
think
you
there's
do.
any. I don't think there's any good evidence in the civil court case.
Okay, can you name one single piece of evidence in the case that you dispute?
That Trump says he doesn't know her, and then they showed a picture or something like that of them together.
Why would you dispute that? That makes no evidence. No sense.
I've-
Why would you
you're-
dispute
you're-
the picture?
That was a,
You think the
wait,
picture's
fir-
fake?
First of all, no. So first of all,
The picture's real. So you just brought up
Can
a
I
point of evidence against Trump that he was lying.
Can I speak? So this, was it that was the primary piece of evidence? I think that was the primary piece of evidence. Was that?
No, that was just another piece of evidence to prove this point. Now also that proves that
I
they
don't
were
think that was
at
a
the-
good piece of evidence.
What?
I don't think it was a good piece of evidence.
Well, the reason why it's a good piece of evidence is because of the fact that it shows that yes, they did know each other. Trump was wrong about that scenario, and also
Right.
he said that he wouldn't have abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in that deposition, he mistook her with his ex-wife. So yeah, I think that puts more evidence into the fact that he's lying. So
Okay,
what?
I don't think that's a good piece of evidence, is because have you in
But
every
like
case?
that's not a reason to dispute the case as a whole.
Well, you don't really need much evidence for civil case.
But wait, does this serve as evidence? Let me clarify. This is not the only
think it's-
evidence. I just want to clarify.
I don't think it's good evidence.
Wait, can you name one other piece of evidence in the case?
He denied DNA testing.
That's not a piece of evidence in the case.
Was more. I forgot.
You just
I
gave
knew-
another reason to think that Donald Trump is guilty. Like,
listen.
if he
you didn't
wasn't,
even-
if he wasn't at the scene of the crime, why didn't he give up his DNA to prove that he wasn't at the scene of the crime?
Listen, I could give the counter arguments if you want, but you were just asking me for more pieces of evidence.
You don't know.
No, I don't. Okay, if you knew a person if you're a really famous person, yeah, and 40 years ago, someone might have took a picture with you. Are you gonna necessarily remember that?
No, I'm not saying you would remember that, but the point you wouldn't say I wouldn't have abused this person because they're quote unquote not my type. And then
Hey,
you
I
mistake
don't think-
them with your ex-wife. That makes literally no sense. That's incoherent gibberish. That proves you're lying. So
No,
there
it's
is
not
a
true.
difference. You can
Trump-
totally forget that you met someone and saw them. Right? That's totally possible. No one's disputing that.
I don't think-
But it's what he was lying about on top of that, saying that he wouldn't have abused her because she's quote unquote not his type.
Not sure.
That this then disproves because he
Even if he was
mistook her
lying
with his
about
ex-wife.
Even if he was lying about that, I don't think that proves anything that he
It
was
does.
lying.
It proves
about
that
the
he's
whole
lying
case.
about the scenario.
It's not true. It just means he's trying to bring more evidence than he actually has.
And if he
Doesn't mean-
didn't meet her for very long, why didn't he prove that he wasn't the scene of the crime by giving up his DNA? Because his DNA would not have been able to show up on her dress because they were not within close proximity enough for a long enough period of time. Because it's not like everyone that was at that particular event showed up on her dress, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, someone has to be within close proximity to someone in order for them to be able to show up on a dress.
Okay, so maybe he was in close proximity.
Okay, but he claimed that they never met.
He didn't know. He didn't know about.
If they
ever
were
met
in close
anything.
proximity like this, he doesn't forget that.
It's not true. It's 40 years ago. 40 years ago. You remember everything 40 years ago, everyone you were ever close to. If you're a famous person, ever taking a picture with someone, and
This
you
isn't
touched
taking
their
a picture
dress,
with someone. He literally raped her. He
I
literally
don't-
raped her, dude.
Okay, now you're just saying you're.
Okay, you're saying that he was within close proximity to her enough to show up on her dress,
Maybe.
and he didn't want to give up his DNA because he didn't want to incriminate himself. If he was innocent, he would have given up his DNA.
No, because maybe he was in close proximity, and that he didn't remember.
Say that one more time.
Maybe he was in close proximity that he didn't remember.
And by the way, you say 40 years ago. This was 30 years ago. I just want to clarify. So,
Okay, sorry.
and also, like, I don't understand the point of saying that. Like, you understand that this is bullshit, right? That you're just making things up to try to defend him.
It's not true. You're
You
trying
are.
to make
You
things up to
actively are.
attack him.
I'm not
There's
just
a
trying to
reason why
attack
he
him.
wasn't put in
He was
prison,
held
right?
civilly liable by unanimous decision of 9 people in a
I have a
jury.
question.
An
If he
entire
definitely-
jury determined this to be true.
If it was determined to be true and 100% true, then why wasn't he put in prison?
Because the statute of limitations for criminal courts, in the context of New York, for abuse beyond 5 years, it prevents you from trying them in a criminal court. That's why.
Oh, so why wasn't he in the criminal court? Because obviously it wasn't enough of a suspicion, right? So I'm not gonna have enough of a
Dude,
suspicion.
you didn't listen to what I just said. I just explained, and then you didn't you clearly weren't
Because
listening.
it has to
Do
be
you want me
done
to
in a
repeat
criminal
it?
court. It has to be done in a criminal court.
Do you want me to repeat it? Do you know what the explanation
repeat it.
was for why it wasn't in a criminal court? Can you repeat it back?
I can't. Maybe you could. Sorry. Maybe you could repeat it. I thought I understood, but maybe I didn't. Maybe you could say it
Can
again.
you give me the general idea if you listen?
I thought you were saying because it wasn't a criminal court, but it sounds like I'm wrong. Maybe you could repeat it again.
You need to listen to me, okay? put your listening ears on, okay? It was because of a statute of limitations that says after a certain amount of years that it prevents you, right, from trying your abuser in the context of a criminal court in relation to sexual abuse cases. After 5 years in New York, you can't try your abuser accountable in the context of a criminal court, regardless of the amount of evidence.
And why do you think that law was placed?
What's up?
Why do you think such a law was placed?
Why do I think a law was placed? Well, I think
But
that
after
statute of
5
limitations laws are to protect, so I think it's bad.
No, I'm saying why do you think they made it that you can't go to criminal court after 5 years?
Because it was to
They
protect.
made a law to protect.
Yes, this is absolutely a law to protect, and no one can
would they do
describe
that?
it otherwise. Because when it comes to SA cases, it does take decades for many victims to come out. So yes, this is absolutely a law that protects. There's
Why
no
would they
good
make-
reason to have a law like that.
In New York?
It is in New.
Ooh, the Democrat.
So Trump's lawyers were a part of the jury selection process. There are independents, there are conservatives. In the context of New York, you would assume that at least 1 to 3 of the people on the jury met that criteria, and they all indicated Trump abused Eugene Carroll.
Okay, I don't think it was. Do you think it would be enough evidence to put Trump in jail if it was in criminal court?
Do I think it was enough evidence? I think, okay, I don't care what you think. I
But
don't
you
care
can't
what the
prove it.
jury
Could you
thinks.
Could you prove that if it was in criminal court, then it will be? You prove that if it was in
You just
criminal
asked
court.
you just asked what I think based upon
Right,
the
yeah,
evidence.
fine. Right,
Because
so
I think
since-
the evidence is beyond a reasonable doubt, and I think that you wouldn't be able to establish the reasonable doubt. I do think that it would be enough in the context of a criminal case. So if I were a member on the jury in the criminal case, I would say that he's guilty, especially because they would have specific litigation in terms of getting the DNA, and it would prove that it was his DNA.
So if let's say he wasn't found guilty in criminal court, would you then not use this as against him?
Do you think OJ is guilty?
OJ?
Yeah,
OJ.
OJ
I
Simpson.
don't know anything about it.
Okay. All right. So do you accept civil cases, the determinations from civil cases, at least in typical?
Not enough to not support them from president.
Right? I feel like I'm asking, do you accept them in typical?
Depends on the context and what they're being accused of. I don't know.
Okay. So then you don't accept the 40% of cases against undocumented immigrants, where 40% of undocumented immigrants are in the country and they haven't been violating criminal law because they didn't unlawfully enter the country. They came in the country with the use of a visa and then they overstayed their visa, which is a civil violation. So you don't believe any of the cases against them. They're all bullshit because they're civil cases, right?
No, it's
What? No? So now you accept civil
I don't-
cases in typical, even if you don't have the specific information to indicate that
That's not only
person's guilty,
because-
unless you have good reason to indicate otherwise. Is that your particular view?
I don't think they should be here whether or not it's legal. That's not the argument. Isn't if it's legal or not. The argument is if they should be here or if we should have such immigration laws.
What? You're not addressing. What point did I just ask you?
You asked me why I would support civil cases regarding immigrants.
So the point I'm making is that you typically accept the determinations in civil courts unless you have good reason to indicate otherwise, right? Because you typically accept the cases against those that are violating civil law by overstaying their visas, which is 40% of undocumented immigrants in the country.
Can you explain more of what you're talking about? Because I don't really know about you.
What state do you live in?
New York,
What town?
146.
Okay. Can you name 2 states that border New York?
New Jersey and
Okay. Can you name what's the capital of New York?
again. Wait, knew this.
Can you tell me 3 cities in New York?
Is the capital, which I forgot the exact name. Do you not believe me that I live in New York?
What name 3 cities?
New York City. Is that Atlanta? No.
Atlanta?
No,
New
no,
city
Atlanta.
drop.
3
You,
cities.
you don't,
The
you don't
city
live
I
in the
live
U.S., do you?
The city I live in, Muncie, New York, is the city I live in. It's not really a city; it's a township, more like. And I could tell you my zip code: 10952.
I don't know why you're doxing yourself, if that
You
were
know,
true. Dude, I'm just gonna be honest. How do you not know 3 cities if you live in New York?
Because I'm only in one city. I don't. Okay, you
What
know
do you
more
mean
cities?
you're only in one city? Bull fucking shit. What do you mean you only live in one city? What type of fucking stupid? I don't believe that shit. Are you kidding me?
Well, just because meaning I only have to know what city I live in. I don't have to know the cities I don't go
Name
to. Right?
3 boroughs in New York City.
3 boroughs: Staten Island, Bronx, Queens,
Okay.
Manhattan, and Brooklyn. Is 5.
Okay. Hey, but like, dude, at this point, I am gonna go to the next person. I don't believe you.
Hey,
that
I
live
told you,
in
look
New
at
York.
my zip code. 10952 is my zip code.
I don't care. You looked up a random New York zip code.
Okay, so once you're saying that, I could just look
You
up anything.
probably just looked it up, like actually, because
I
you couldn't
literally
name
didn't look-
3 cities.
I could have looked up 3 cities also.
Can you just admit?
I promise you, I live in New York.
Okay, the only reason I question that is because of the fact of like the conversation of you like don't know a civil case, you like
Because
don't
I'm
know
not.
any of these
Listen,
any
I'm
of
not
this
like
information.
I'm not like that into politics. I just
This isn't about
support
being into
money.
politics. This is just about like you know nothing about the case, and yet you're making these particular confident
I'm not making.
claims.
I didn't make any claims regarding immigrants.
I'm saying the confidence in the claims that you're making. But you named Atlanta. Like who the would say Atlanta
No,
if
no,
they
not
live in New
Atlanta.
York?
The capital of New York is something that starts with A. I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah,
know
but
the name
who
of
the
it.
hell lives in New York and would say that Atlanta is in New York?
It's not Atlanta. It's the slip of my tongue that came out. I know it's not Atlanta. Listen,
Albany and Atlanta aren't even
Albany. There we go.
they're not even that close. Atlanta, Albany.
It actually, uh, there are some. They both have the A and the L on the first three letters of the. Listen,
I'm done. I'm done. Come on, Atlanta is diabolical. That was diabolical.